Hello boys and girls, Storyball Josh here. And yeah, so a few days ago, a while ago, Lucky Strike 502 posted a video talking about the 10 movies that you can watch over and over again. I thought that's an awesome topic. I don't normally do like the, questions and stuff like that when people post and they post a bunch of questions, you have to answer them and all that, but I thought this was an awesome topic because I absolutely love movies, and so I had to share with you, throwing my 2 cents on the 10 movies you watch over and over again. Now, there's, on this list, there's a lot that aren't on this list, and this isn't by any means a top 10 list. These are just the first 10 that came to my head. First one I gotta mention is Goonies. The reason why I have to mention that one first because it was on TV right before I left. I'm actually on my way to work right now. It was on TV. It pissed me off I didn't get to sit and finish watching it. I don't know how many times I've seen the movie Goonies, but it is by far one of my favorite movies of all time. I've even been out to the Oregon coast several times where they filmed the movie. Didn't even realize it for the longest time, and then one day I was sitting in Germany when I was in the Army. I was sitting in Germany watching it because I had just bought it on DVD, and noticed Haystack Rock in the background. At first I was like, oh man, that almost looks like Haystack Rock, and then they show it again, a couple times throughout the movie, and I was like, holy shit, I've actually been there, and I ended up going back since then. And in fact, when I went back in 2006, I was telling her, I'm going to where they filmed Goonies, man. The other one that I really have to mention is Karate Kid. The reason I have to mention this is because when I was a wee lad, I would wake up every morning and put in Karate Kid and watch it. I mean, I watched that every day for Lord knows how long. I haven't seen that movie in years, but I guarantee you that if I was to put the movie in right now, I would be able to quote every freaking line in that movie, because I don't know, I mean, it was a decent movie, but when I was a kid, to me, that was the greatest movie ever made. And so, I have to throw that one in there. I think Lucky Strike may have mentioned Grandma's Boy. In fact, I know he did. Another great movie. It didn't do too well in the box office, but I think it was one of those movies like Office Space that it did pretty well in DVD sales. Fantastic movie. It's just friggin' hilarious, especially if you're a stoner who loves to play video games. I'm not a stoner, but I do love to play video games, and the movie is just absolutely... It has a karate monkey in it, for crying out loud. And since I mentioned it, I might as well throw in Office Space, too. It did absolutely horrible in theaters, and then just the DVD sales just went through the roof. It was insane, but... Office Space is the absolute perfect I fucking hate my job movie, and it's probably the reason why I've watched it so many times. I mean, in fact, there's a good chance that here soon, or at least eventually, I'll end up doing a reenactment of a scene from that movie. I'm not going to give any more details because I don't want to give it away, but if I can get this to work out, it's going to be the shit. Glory. Glory's kind of a different one as far as, this list goes, because it's not a comedy by any means. It's about, it's a Civil War movie. about the blacks who fought for the North and stuff. It had, it starred Ferris frickin' Bueller, which I was really impressed with his work in that movie, just because it was such a different role from him. But it was an amazing movie. I mean, to this day, I cannot watch it without getting a little choked up. Another one I have to throw in there is Princess Bride. It's because it has everything. It's got comedy, it's got action, sword fighting. It has Andre the Giant. It's got romance, so your chick can dig it too. But it's some people might consider a romantic comedy or a chick flick, but it's one of the greatest quote-unquote chick flicks of all time. The movie is just that great. If you've never seen Princess Bride, you're missing out. You really need to see it. Old School. I've got to throw that one in there because just like with Karate Kid, I've watched that one so many times. I actually went to go see it in theaters when I was in Germany right before I deployed to Iraq, and then when I was in Iraq, a buddy of somebody in my platoon ended up getting it mailed to him, and another buddy of mine, he and I were the only ones in the platoon that had actually seen the movie, because he and I went to go see it, and we told him, like, dude, you got to put that in right now. And from the time we put that in, it was over. I mean, we watched that movie at least once a day when I was in Baghdad. In fact, because of that movie, sometimes when I do karaoke, I'll actually do Total Eclipse of the Heart, but I'll do it in the style of the Dan Band. I may be posting that here once if I ever get that recorded. Gremlins. So I have to go with the first Gremlins. The second one was okay, but the first Gremlins, that movie was the shit. I ain't even gonna say anything else about it. Tremors. I know a lot of people might be laughing at me for putting Tremors on this list, and I'm talking about all four of them. Every once in a while, I think on like TNT or something like that, they'll end up playing the movies, and usually when it's on, my dad, my brother, and I, sometimes even my mom, are sitting in there watching it. I've seen that movie so many times. It's got so many great one-liners that it's just a fantastic movie, a fantastic series. And speaking of series, I've got to finish off with the Evil Dead trilogy. Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Specifically, Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell is one of my all-time favorite actors. Even the stuff that was considered crap that he's done, I mean, he's a fantastic actor. And him and the Sam Raimi movies, I love his cameos in the Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movies. But Army of Darkness, it's just absolutely hilarious. And then you got the action, plus I love medieval time stuff, so I mean it's another movie that's got just about everything. It doesn't have Andre the Giant, but it's got Bruce Campbell, so I think that more than makes up for it. So yeah, there's my 2 cents. Those are my top 10 movies, or at least series of movies. I'm just going to leave it at that, and yeah, I hope some of you guys post responses to Lucky Strike 502 as well. I'm interested to seeing what you guys put. If I wasn't 3 Ball Josh, I'd wish I was.